We welcome you back. Go Daily Thetha. Today, we've got all things to do with the art center in our communities. And joining us today on the couch, we've got Julie Dipofa, who is the interim CEO at National Arts Council South Africa. The National Arts Council is an agency of the Department of Sports, Arts and Culture. Sports, Arts and Culture. We welcome you, Ma. How are you?
Thank you. I'm fine, thank you.
Awesome. So we just want to talk about, the prioritizing of the art center in our communities, because we know, like I had mentioned earlier, from these art centers, who's really great artists, this one, and it was an opportunity, to express themselves in an artistic way, And so the question would be, is there still a lot of weight, is there still a lot of emphasis on the art culture as there used to be? Or are you saying, priorities have taken a different direction with regards to the youth?
Okay. Look, from the perspective of the National Arts Council as a funding agency, community art centers play a very important role. You have already mentioned it in the community as part of fostering social cohesion, taking youth away from the streets, educating the youth, allowing them that opportunity to express themselves, learn the creatives, learn the arts. So community art centers are very important, and we see them as centers of excellence because that's where the art is nurtured. That's where you build and grow kids, into the community itself in relation to arts and arts development. They're so important that a lot of children, if they're not getting arts education in schools, where do they go? They actually go to community art centers. So they become a space or a platform to learn the arts, to express themselves, whether it's playing music or doing crafts or doing paintings as in visual arts, and also growing as artists. We know that the arts play a very significant role in the child's mental growth, psychological growth, cognitive development. So those community art centers, as we see them as centers of excellence, are very important. And we strive to support them as the National Arts Council because that's where you grow the arts. And that's actually where you even develop your audiences. When there's a show, parents will run, sisters, siblings, to see their young ones performing. This is how you develop the arts, this is how you promote them and advance them. So community art centers are very important and they need to be supported continuously.
And here's the thing, you talk about support, which is a very important thing. From your vantage point, would you say ukuthi National Arts Council iyawaxhasa ama-artists asafufusa to first of all be able to facilitate into ezifana funding? And I ask this question because you've seen izinto ezifana naleya list that was published by the now Sports Minister Gayton Mackenzie, where he spoke about abantu abaqomula or benefited from the government's purse insofar as funds lawo were COVID, right? And you take that and you balance it off ngama-artists, for example, abafana nobaba la abadinga funding, because the reality is the National Arts Council has also come under criticism and fire activity. They don't really give enough support, and we need to address that right now.
Okay. Look, funding is very finite, and with the economic situation at the moment, our funding has been cut severely into millions. And if funding is cut, it actually means the funding support that we give to creatives like Mwekezi Gwena, who's our flagship artist, by the way. We've seen him grow through the NAC funding that we have given to him before, and a little bit that we have given to Basket over this. It's not enough. Look, we receive thousands of applications in a particular funding session, and we only have, say, maybe 10% to give to the artists. When you look at, the last funding session that we had, we do give project funding. We had something like 26 million when we received something like 3,200 applications. So every applicant who came through that session actually wanted the money, but we could only support 220.
But what would you attribute this to? Because I need us to also pinpoint ukuthi ngabe inkinga ekuphi. Would you say it's purely because ama-arts la eMzansi Africa are not taken seriously as opposed to other countries, for example, say as the US?
Look, in the US, there's a lot of philanthropy. They don't even have a National Arts Council. There isn't any government funding for the arts. So the country's developed, a lot of people have money and they donate and support the arts from their own personal purses. So in a developing country like South Africa, you definitely still need government support. Remember, government support is not only at national level. We do have municipalities at local level. We do have provinces that are also supposed to be funding the arts. The arts are very important, except in South Africa, we're getting very little money. I think we are often seen as the stepchild because when funding is allocated, priorities health, is education, defense, and the like. And the arts come last. And I think it's now very important because to build a nation, to build a cohesive nation, you really need the arts. You cannot do it without the arts. The arts are the soul of the nation, the cultural expression of the nation. And as such, for a nation to grow and to thrive, you really need the arts. So it's quite important that we get even more funding.
Absolutely. So, often we don't want to sit in a place where we're always pointing fingers to say, oh, government will more funding. If you can speak to us now at a community level. So if you're speaking the community, umphakathi, saying, guys, this is how you can meet us halfway. What are some of the things you can share with us with regards to how we can also pour in and support?
As community, number one, I think we need to start supporting these arts initiatives in the communities. If there's a concert, let's not say let's go for free shows. Let's pop out some money. Because for these people to perform, you had Muikets, you still need to give a stipend to the participants, or trainees that they're giving. Let's go and pay a price at the door to see these shows. We need money to flow into the communities. But at the same time, the community itself needs to respect the resources, the assets that government put there as community art centers. They should own them, they should take care of them, and in a way that it's their own building, even if they didn't pop a cent, but it's your own asset as a community. So looking after and making sure that there isn't any, thing going wrong in the building. Those are the safe centers. When there are social ills, where do kids run to? To the community art centers. So it's quite important that we support, be the audience, pay, whether it's 5 rand or 10 rands, pop something. Because it does go a long way in supporting those arts organizations.
And even in times of turmoil as well, masibone unrest in our communities, people actually do find refuge in our art centers as well. So in essence also Mbugeli, I think indaba yokuthi kwesinye isikhathi masinama frustrations sibona ama service delivery protest into yokuthi kumele kushiswe ama community centers kumele iphele. Siyabuya emva kwalokho. Hleli nathi khona la ku-Daily Thetha. So namhlanje wembukeli, we were going around and having conversations about our art centers zethu and just how beneficial they are to imiphakathi yethu. We sesicishe sifike emaphethelweni enkulumo yethu. But also, I think it's very also important to note ukuthi sime around the setup lesibona njengamanje la sobona khona i-Bascade playing us out. And this is some of the products or izinto esibonayo come out of our art centers zethu. Kungakho kubaluleke kangaka ukuthi siwaxhase futhi siwasupporte. And I want to circle it back maybe to this side as well, just to talk about the importance of supporting these art centers. Maybe we can bring it to you and hear about also the concert that you guys are going to be hosting and just how important it is for people to come and support it. Grab that mic, go ahead.
Well, Julie has given me a great introduction. We have a concert coming up just round the corner, walking distance, Holy Trinity Church, Brumfontein, and it's on the 17th of August at 3 p.m. And we beg people, well, we don't beg, we urge you, because if you don't come, you miss out on something. You've heard these wonderful young people, and it's going